Good evening. There is new urgency tonight. New concerns about global warming in the Canadian Arctic. There are potentially catastrophic effects for wildlife and the way of life for the people of the North. Yes, we've been hearing about this for years now, but now the latest studies made public today show the melting of the polar ice cap is speeding along at an alarming rate. This past summer in the Arctic was the warmest in 400 years. These NASA satellite photos show what's happening. This is the ice pack as it was in 1978. Now, 2005, it's like this, a shrinking of almost 30%. More from CTV's Todd Battis.
The Arctic, treading on thin ice, a cliche, but in this case, true. New satellite images show the polar cap, 15 million square kilometers of floating ice, disappearing faster than first feared.
In 2005, it's the lowest of the satellite record. We've watched that retreat year after year.
Normally, ice that melts in summer grows back in winter. That's not happening like it used to. Scientists such as Environment Canada's Tom Agnew warn the Arctic Ocean will soon be ice-free.
We're concerned that it's not going to recover and that the sea ice will eventually disappear within the next 50 to 100 years.
Most recent estimates suggest that the last time we've had an ice-free Arctic was millions of years ago.
Right now, though, that open ocean is a problem. Whereas ice deflects sun rays, keeping the Arctic cold, black ocean attracts it, further heating the water in the atmosphere. The result, experts argue, of greenhouse gases, climate change.
What's going to happen is a major change in the temperature of the Arctic Ocean. From being very cold, it could warm up quite a bit, and we're not sure what implication that will have for the climate of the Earth.
Inuit living at the ocean's edge think they know. Their bays, once choked with ice, are empty. Waves now lap the shoreline. The permafrost is softening, hunting on ice floes often impossible.
The whalers have to be aware it's dangerous at times due to the thin ice.
Polar bears, dependent on pack ice to reach their prey, are getting thin. Birds normally confined to spots further south are at home in the north.
We're seeing the web of life kind of falling apart before our eyes. So we see how important the climate is, the stability of climate is to the stability of ecosystems.
A threat felt as far away as Parliament Hill, where politicians face a growing body of scientific evidence that suggests this is not simply nature taking its course.
Canada must be a leader of climate change. It's important for us, for our North, and our role in the world.
Stéphane Dion plans to push that on the agenda at an upcoming international conference on climate change later in Montreal, Lloyd.
So, Todd, do we understand then that what we're doing here on this Earth in producing greenhouse gases is, in fact, accelerating a natural process?
Well, there's certainly still some debate on whether greenhouse gases and climate change is the sole reason, but there's certainly no denying, and on this scientists can agree, that the sea ice is melting at a very quick rate, and certainly those satellite images make that very clear.
Well, what happens on Earth as a result of an ice-free Arctic?
There's certainly several conditions that they're going to be keeping an eye on. One of them is sea level rise, which could affect low-lying communities, especially in the Maritimes. Another is an increase in temperature worldwide, they say, could spark more dramatic storms like we've seen in recent months with hurricane activity. And also, of course, there's the Northwest Passage issue. Certainly, ships are going to want to sail through an ice-free Arctic water. And as well, you'll have Ottawa, which will be very quick to point out to the rest of the world that that's our turf. It's one of the reasons why the Navy got those long-range submarines, Lloyd.
Thanks, Todd.
Good night.